Welcome to the Inside Creative Technologies channel, where we will discuss about artificial intelligence, bioinformatics, computational biology, implementation of AI related stuff on Python as well as on MATLAB. I'm also going to get you guys in touch with the latest positions in this particular field. Positions will be related to research professor, postdoc, PhD positions, master positions, and many more such like that. Research related details are also going to be discussed on this channel. This all is going to be a great fun, like a roller coaster ride, where you will learn a lot and will get a chance to grow in the field. So, today we are going to look at the importance of bioinformatics in today's life. So, why is bioinformatics important is the question of today. That's the question which will be asked by everyone in next few years. And for now, a group of people really want to know what is it. So answer to those questions is that the use of computing and analysis tools to the acquisition and interpretation of biological data is characterized as bioinformatics. It is a multidisciplinary discipline that brings together computer science, mathematics, physics, and biology. Isn't that interesting? All major fields under single banner. So let's get to know more about it. Bioinformatics and its impact on genomics. So, bioinformatics is a multidisciplinary research connected to genetic and genomics that include collecting, storing, analyzing, and disseminating biological data and information, including DNA and amino acid sequencing, or interpretation about certain sequences, implying computer technology on those sequences. Generally, bioinformatics refers bioinformatics refers to gene, DNA, RNA, or protein, and is especially useful for comparing genetic traits and other sequence data in proteins and other sequential information within a species or between different species, glancing at molecular phylogenetic between organisms and determining the activity of DNA and protein sequence data using patterns and structures across DNA and protein sequences. Bioinformatics might be seen of as the communication branch of genetics, that is, synthetic and semantic research look for pattern in language, whereas bioinformatic researchers hunt for connection within gene and within the protein structure. So, why is bioinformatics important? Bioinformatics is a branch of computer programming is which is used to evaluate whole genome sequence data. Now, that whole genome sequence data can be of human as well. This includes method, workflow, and application creation, as well as genetic data analysis, transport, and storage database construction. Like can be seen in our slides, where we can see that the sequence data is being used for is being translated to the data which can be understood by the computers. So that's the aim of bioinformatics. That's what bioinformatics is actually doing. There are the steps in a typical whole genome sequencing workflow. So those whole genome sequencing workflow steps are quality control and data grooming, genome assembly or variant calling, and the third one is post assembly analysis. The amount of data generated by next generation sequencing system is enormous. Data is gathered not only on DNA sequencing findings but also on sequencing performance in order to aid in the discovery of mistakes or repeated sequencing. Now, you see, human error can be anywhere. So, that's the solution to the human errors in biology. To process the massive amount of data, specific software and fast computing equipment are necessary. the interpretation of data generated by generation sequencing, as well as the continuous success and expansion of precision medicine required specialized educated bioinformatics is all done in bioinformatics. So, moving more, looking into the details that why bioinformatics is important. So, bioinformatics has now become a vital component in many fields of biology. It is being used by the doctors, used by the researchers, used by the uh, practicing specialists in the field of biology. Bioinformatics tools such as image and signal processing enables the extraction of relevant conclusion from enormous volumes of raw data in experimental cell genetics. It assists in the sequencing and annotation of genome and their observed mutations in the field of bioinformatics. It helps to organize and query biological data, that can be DNA, that can be RNA, that can be protein, any, through text mining. Obviously, for computer, it's just a text mining of biomedical publication and the building of biological and gene ontologies. It is useful for studying gene and proteins transcription and activity. Bioinformatic tools help in the comparability of functional genomics data as well as the comprehension of molecular biology's evolutionary feature in general. So, moving towards genomic and bioinformatics impact on clinical research. So, how does that impact on the clinical research? Before that, just go through the revolution being made in past few decades in the field of bioinformatics, where we can see that from 1977 till 2019, a huge change, a huge revolution is being seen in the field of bioinformatics. Computer science played an essential part in the research of molecular biology throughout the 1960s. Bioinformatics is the study of living things using biological data, mathematical analyticals, and computational approaches. Microarray technology, proteomics, and other related to cancer technology and system biology have all benefited from bioinformatics. It is a vibrant industry at the cutting edge of science and technology, which is waiting for many of you to get jobs, to get good positions in worldwide. It is being seen that humans have evolved into data gatherers with conclusions drawn from their behaviors in almost every area of their lives. Everything will become data in this civilization, and that is for sure. So, anything can be measured and converted into a series of values that can be saved, kept in database, and studied through a cable or wirelessly conduits. Now that means everything can be managed by computers. Everything can be run, or the decision making power for anything can be taken by the computers. And that is the revolution being made in past few decades. So, now, bioinformatics was created originally to analyze biological sequences. However, it currently covers a wide variety of topics like as complex biological systems, epigenetics, and genetic research as well. Bioinformatics is in clinical trials have evolved into great detail on several issues and has brought a variety of previously unimagined possibilities. Now, those possibilities are going to be seen in future. So, the phrase, this clinical bioinformatics, what is it? Basically, it refers to the use of bioinformatics related disciplines and technology in clinical settings to better understand molecular causes and potential therapeutics for human illness. Clinical bioinformatics is a new field that brings together clinical computing, informatics, healthcare, analytics, information systems, mathematical, and omic research as well. So now that's where the research is going at the moment. It can be image, it can be signal, it can be anything that can be analyzed by the computers. And so a new revolution in the field of biology is waiting ahead for us to see the future. Clinical bioinformatics was first offered as a way to give biological and biomedical data for personalized treatment. It allows scientists to examine internet biological resources and employ computers in clinical practice. It chooses the best software for analyzing microarray data for clinical testing and decision making. It can also help with the creation of genetic disorder biomarkers as well as medication target identification and predictive relevance. So it can really solve the problem associated with cancer. It can help us to have early diagnosis of cancer. It can help us to know about the any of the virus that is going to affect a human in future. So that is going to be a great deal in future. So understanding how clinical intelligence and bioinformatics interact aids in the discovery and development of novel diagnostics and treatments for illness. A recent COVID 19 is a good example that is in front of us where we can visualize the manner how things worked. The field of clinical bioinformatics deals with the processing and visualization of huge healthcare datasets. It is more focused on clinical informatics, such as patient complaints, histories, treatment, clinical syndromes, physical inspections, and many things else. So, computational and high throughput experimental approaches are used to find substances in cancer diagnosis, therapy, preventives, and control in the discipline. It even promotes the advancement of chemical, structural, and biological techniques. Clinical bioinformatic research aimed to match the illness complexity of healthcare data. Clinical data, conventional laboratory assessment, brain imaging data, and genetic data from genetic profiling experiments. Now, that is very interesting. It covers almost everything that is in biology. As in previous time, I just told you that everything can be translated into data, and that data obviously can be understood by the computers, and they can make any decision for us. So, it is a groundbreaking notion for the development of disease specific biomarkers, mechanism based knowledge, and personalized medication. Because of high throughput biotechnologies, genomic, transcriptomic, and proteomic data from human investigations has grown significantly. Clinical measures and evaluated data have also increased as a result of the advancement of modern clinical technologies, because you see the data is used by the computers to learn the things, and that is very necessary. The more the data is, the more will be the knowledge of the computer to make any decision. So clinical bioinformatics is defined by the difficulty of combining molecular and clinical data to expedite the conversion of knowledge discovery into effective therapy and personalized medicine. Since it is particularly focused on clinical context. So that is very important, that clinical context should be there. A range of variables promote clinical bioinformatics study because of its ambition to begin new genome sequencing and other high throughput research methodologies have created a massive amount of data in recent years. We have different whole genomes for different species being available for us, on which we can perform different experiments, and we can have its analysis, and we can do much more for it. So, when these data are combined with clinical data, substantial biological breakthroughs might be made. Second, physicians now have access to novel diagnostics tests based on molecular biomarkers, allowing for significant advances in disease treatment. As technology advances, the overall content of the biological text corpus has increased, as evidenced by published articles, dissertations, technical comments, and assessments, as well as immediate publication resulting in the creation of advanced algorithms. And the algorithms speak highly about the effectiveness of this big data being available to the computers. Such methods were shown to be capable of efficiently combining textual information with knowledge of science. Finally, since the amount of publicly accessed data continues to rise, as well as the ability to obtain low cost, accurate molecular techniques, computational technologies, and bioinformatics have become increasingly important for pharmaceutics and all the fields related to pharma. It can do drug discovery as well, which is a great milestone achieved in the field of computers. So, talking about the current challenges in the field of bioinformatics. Despite its importance, clinical bioinformatics faces several hurdles, and that's something really sad for us. But obviously, with the passage of time, we will be able to manage it. It is, for example, very costly. So, obviously, cost matters a lot whenever you are doing any sort of research. Even managing the kind and time of exposure might be challenging in this field. Coordination among a wide range of stakeholders, including research funders, clinical researchers, patients, payers, doctors, and authorities, is required to undertake a clinical study. And among these, prayer is the most important thing we need in research. The following challenges in clinical research indicate large systematic difficulties, emphasizing clinical research issues in the first step. The next point to consider in the distinction between medical studies and treatment practices, eventually clinical trials are becoming more worldwide. The internationalization of medical trials opens up a lot of possibilities for increasing the drug discovery process efficiency. Pharmaceuticals business gain greatly as a result of these studies, not just in developed countries as well as in many emerging countries. So that's a big deal. If anyone wants a success, nation success, uh, individual success, that he can pursue bioinformatics and he can gain a great success in this field. As a consequence, total developed costs are reduced and patients number are enlarged. Patients are now themselves ready to contribute towards this novel cause. As a consequence, it may also result in the release of new medical items in numerous locations throughout the world, and that will be really great. So, in future, if anything like COVID occurs again, we will be well equipped to have its cure in our hands, and we can work fast in order to get success. Clinical trials have both advantages and disadvantages. Drugs' efficacy can be improved through well designed and executed research. So, that is all about the introduction to the bioinformatics and why the bioinformatics is important. So, we need to understand this. I think that is all with this topic so far, and I hope you like the video. Please like and share the video. Click the subscribe button so that you can get notification regarding more knowledgeable videos. I will be back with more knowledgeable videos in this regard, in regard to bioinformatics, in regard to AI research, in regard to image classification, image regression, image segmentation. We will be working on methylation as well. We will be working on research related topics as well, and I will be introducing you with the new positions in this particular research field. I hope you like this lecture and you like this video. See you next time.